Liz Cheney, daughter of Dick, who sat on the January 6th committee, all super proud of herself. Liz Cheney, who hated Donald Trump more than she hated, well, smiling, apparently. Liz Cheney, who is one of the most self-absorbed, egomaniacal, self-centered people to ever hold any Republican elected office, looked at the people of Wyoming and said, I know you people voted for Donald Trump overwhelmingly. I know you people sent me to Washington, D.C. to represent you. And I know that you want Donald Trump to be your president. But as your representative, I say no. And I'm going to vote to impeach him. And I'm going to sit on the January 6th committee. And I'm going to do everything I can to help out, to make sure that he gets impeached, to make sure he gets imprisoned. And I know that Kevin McCarthy, the leader of our party at the time, the leader of the House of the Speaker of the House, said, no, Liz, daughter of Dick, don't sit on that committee. I know he came to me and said, no, Liz, we don't want any Republicans on that committee. Don't do it. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do it anyway. And when it failed miserably and Donald Trump became the nominee, I went out and I joined forces with Kamala Harris, a Democrat, who the same Democrat that I said was a danger to the United States of America. I went out and I campaigned for her. And I got my daddy, Dick, to campaign for Kamala. I said to my daddy, I said, Dick, we need you. We need your help. Kamala needs Dick. And so Dick and Liz went out and they campaigned for Kamala Harris. And well, it ended about as well as you thought it would. It was a big, massive failure. And now we're hearing rumors that Liz Cheney may be getting a preemptive pardon from Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., the king of pardons. The king of all pardons. Joe Biden has pardoned more people than anybody. I'm literally anybody. He's the president that holds the record for the most presidential pardons. He is abusing his power like no one has ever abused their power before. At least no one in the White House that we know of. And Liz Cheney, I mean, everyone, Hunter's getting pardoned, violent criminals are getting pardoned, people that are into child pornography are getting pardoned. Why not? Throw one Liz's way. Throw a pardon at the daughter of Dick. I mean, she did try to help you out, even though she and the rest of your brigade failed miserably. Well, this morning we got word that Liz Cheney may actually need that presidential pardon that was floated. She may need a preemptive pardon because she may be in trouble for one of the worst crimes anyone can commit against their fellow humans and or the United States of America, and that is witness tampering in a federal investigation.
Administration Subcommittee on Oversight, the committee that's been investigating January 6th, just released its final report for this year. It accuses Liz Cheney of tampering with the witness, Cassidy Hutchinson, trying to influence her testimony. It formally recommends that the Federal Bureau of Investigation criminally investigate Liz Cheney when President Trump takes over on January 20th. One of several bombshell revelations in here. The report also says that Jack Smith colluded with the January 6th committee, but that some of the evidence has not yet been turned over to Congress. They're demanding that that evidence be turned over, something that might happen when the new administration takes over. But a really significant and rare moment for Congress to actually suggest that one of its members should be criminally prosecuted for tampering with a witness in an official government proceeding.
Okay, this is huge. This is monumentally huge. This is the United States of America House of Representatives, led by Republicans, suggesting to the FBI that you should criminally investigate another Republican for tampering with witnesses in a congressional committee hearing. I mean, that is bonkers. That has never happened before. That is serious. This is not just sour grapes anymore. This is, hey, we have what? We've got testimony and we've got evidence that Jack Smith may have directly colluded with the January 6th committee. Well, if Jack Smith colluded with the January 6th committee, that seems like that's a criminal act as well and should be investigated by the FBI. And I imagine the FBI under Kash Patel will be investigating that. And Liz Cheney, if she's working with whether Cassidy Hutchinson, you may remember this whole thing. This was the whole thing with the limo driver. In fact, I think this guy gets into it.
Hearing the January 6th House hearing. As you remember, Cassidy Hutchinson was the bombshell witness for the Democrats, claimed that Donald Trump tried to commandeer the presidential limousine, take it to the Capitol. We now know that wasn't true. The Secret Service had already told Liz Cheney it wasn't true. She presented the evidence anyways to the American public, tried to give it credence. There's some other testimony where Cassidy Hutchinson talks about a document she claims she wrote it. She didn't. Someone else wrote it. All of that is laid out in this report. But the headline is Liz Cheney could be facing an FBI criminal investigation based on this information that Congress has transmitted this morning.
Okay, so Liz Cheney, Cassidy Hutchinson, by the way, she was the one you may remember. She said, I think, I may be remembering it wrong, but I want to say she said something at first where Donald Trump was like throwing plates with ketchup on them and ketchup staining the walls, or there was some kind of massive outburst of anger by President Donald Trump that she witnessed. That was like the first thing. Then she said that on January 6th, Donald Trump wanted to go to the Capitol building to be with his people, and he leapt into the presidential limo, the Beast, they call it. And he said to the driver, who is a trained Secret Service agent, and who, by the way, is not in the Beast, like sitting there alone. There's multiple agents. For Donald Trump to go from wherever he was, jump into the limousine, and start demanding the Secret Service agent in charge start driving away. And he said, take me to the Capitol. And the Secret Service agent said, sir, I'm sorry, I cannot. And Donald Trump lunged across this massively large limousine with bulletproof glass and encasements everywhere. And by the way, 74 years old at the time. And I'm not saying that age is a factor with Donald Trump. He's in great shape. Guy golfs all the time. He can walk around. He doesn't trip and fall like Joe Biden does. Great shape, this guy. But he lunges across a limousine through bulletproof glass and casings, fights back a much younger 20, maybe 30-year-old, buff, well-trained, on-duty Secret Service agent, and grabs the steering wheel of the Beast like he's going to somehow drive it to the Capitol building. It was totally unbelievable. Nobody would have believed that. It sounds like something stupid out of some kind of Hollywood movie, some kind of blockbuster. But Liz Cheney pushed it off as actual testimony and actual credible witness testimony. And apparently, according to this report now, according to this recommendation by the House Oversight Committee, there was not only no bearing for it, but also Liz Cheney may have tampered with the witness in putting that testimony forward. And I'm curious to see what more. There's a little bit more of this conversation I want to play for you.
John, a quick follow-up real quick. I'm looking at witness tampering, obviously a federal crime, up to potentially 20 years in prison if this is witness tampering.
A very serious allegation. And as we now know from the reporting we did a few months ago, Liz Cheney was communicating to Cassidy Hutchinson around her lawyer. She was represented by a lawyer. When you go out and reach out to someone around their lawyer, you're violating the D.C. bar ethics, which, by the way, Liz Cheney was a barred lawyer in D.C., so she was obligated to follow those rules. But it goes beyond that. It suggests that she was trying to influence the testimony, get her to say things that would make Donald Trump look worse. This is a very serious allegation from Chairman Barry Loudermilk, the head of this committee, the guy who's run the counter January 6th investigation that has found so many things we were denied and not told about in the earlier probe. But a really significant moment today. And you're right. If the FBI were to pursue charges, this would be a very serious crime and one that could carry some serious prison time.
Oh, man, Liz Cheney going to jail. Wow. Could you imagine if Kash Patel, the new head of the FBI, the new director of the FBI, working with Pam Bondi, the new attorney general, rooting out deep state, disgustingness, were able to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt to a jury of her peers that Liz Cheney not only tampered with a witness, but circumvented the legal process, went around her attorney, communicated with her directly, which is something that could get her disbarred, not just imprisoned. If they could prove all of that and Liz Cheney goes to jail, that would be something. That would be amazing. That would be incredible. That would be something that somebody would probably want a preemptive pardon for. It's probably something that would make somebody go to the outgoing president and say, ooh, me, I would like a pardon as well. I can't tell you what I did, but I know that they know what I did, and a pardon from you on the way out the door would be fantastic. I'm sure Adam Schiff this morning is holding his hand in the air saying, don't forget about me. Now, I haven't been charged yet either, but, a preemptive pardon would be great. Dr. Fauci was the other one that was being rumored to be pardoned. But look, if there's any truth to any of this, then that is why the rumors of a preemptive pardon have been flying around like drones in the New Jersey sky.